Hello, Energy Expansion Pod Squad. Before we dive into day 3 of the Expansion Accelerator, I wanted to pop in with a little love note just to let you know how much fun I am already having with you. We are only a few days in and we're already 50 women strong. 50 women who are listening, tuning in, messaging me, tagging me, bringing me into your worlds. And I know that a lot of you are also sharing about this experience with the women in your world. So I'm excited to see this continue to grow because, as I'm sure you can already sense and will continue to do so, these tools are literally life-changing. I know because I'm proof. I know because on my 12 years of coaching full time, I've had the opportunity and the privilege of sharing these types of things with hundreds of women. And I've been able to see the transformation right before my eyes. And so the fact that we're able to get this in the hands, the hearts, the minds of more women brings me an indescribable amount of joy. So thank you so much for being a part of that. Again, I'm really loving to be able to see your progress, your ahas, your insights, what's coming up for you as you're moving through the daily super simple action steps. So I want to encourage you to continue to do that. Little loving reminder, I've said it on the last couple of episodes at the end, so we'll just put this in the front right now. Everything that you need, the typed out daily super simple action steps, a summary of what we talked about, you're always going to be able to find that in the show notes below. So make sure that you check that out. That is going to be really helpful. And if you're just jumping in and you maybe missed it, there's all kinds of really incredible giveaways and incentives, and it's super simple to participate in that. And so I'll have a summary of what that looks like as well. Every single day, there's multiple ways that you can get giveaway entries. And I want to give a little shout out because right now, Vanessa, hello, love. I have a feeling you're listening. Vanessa's in the lead, and then Lauren is a close second. So I wanted to shout the two of you out because you guys have gone really above and beyond in terms of sharing, tagging, sending me private messages about your experience. And I'm so grateful for every single one of you here listening. I love you so much. And without further ado, welcome to day 3. It is day 3 of the Expansion Accelerator, and I am already blown away by how you've been showing up for yourself. So let's continue the journey by talking about one of the concepts that I am most passionate about teaching and practicing. And it is something that we are practicing on some level all of the time. It's this concept of reality creation. And the way that I like to teach this is conscious reality creation. And I say that because we are all constantly creating our reality and our results on some level, right? Going back to day 1, of course, there are things that are outside of your control, but you really, truly do have control over so much, and it all starts with you. So every single being on the planet now, every single being that has ever existed and will ever exist is creating their own reality. The question is, are you doing it with intention? Are you consciously aware of this fact and how to go about using it to your advantage? So conscious reality creation is the topic for today, but you're going to notice as I speak to this, that this is going to be the underlying energy to everything we do moving forward. And you'll even see elements of this from day 1 and day 2. So if you're like, okay, Dani, I like the idea of being able to create the reality that I desire, but how does one go about doing that? So there is a formula. I did not create this formula. I don't know who created it. I read it in a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. T. Harv Eker wrote and published this book in the 1980s. So it's been around for a really long time. I've heard people like Tony Robbins talk about this. I've heard other big coaches with podcasts and sprawling platforms talk about this. So I can't take credit for this, but it is something that
is proven, it's tried and true. And so if you're going to be taking notes today, I want you to write this down. If you've been in my world for any length of time, then you're going to be familiar with this. This is going to be a refresher, and that's perfect because there's going to be something new in this for you. So I want you to write down the side of your paper because I'm going to give you an acronym. TFAR. Okay. The T is thoughts and beliefs. The F is feelings and emotions. The A is aligned action. And the R is results. So what we're going to focus on today is the T and the F, the thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and emotions. This concept of conscious reality creation has a similar essence to things like manifestation. I'm sure we've all heard that word. I don't love using that word. I absolutely believe in it. It's real. Manifestation as a concept ties directly back to the universal law of attraction. And the universal law of attraction is undeniable. It is just as real as the law of gravity. I avoid using the word manifestation because I feel like there are pockets of the coaching and self-improvement industry that have really diluted and done something kind of funky to the concept of manifestation as we know it. But really at the heart of this conscious reality creation is realizing that you are your own point of attraction. So what this is alluding to with conscious reality creation, and then our thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and emotions, is this nod to the fact that everything in our external reality starts as an internal blueprint. It starts as a thought. Just take a moment to notice, what are you thinking right now? What's going through that beautiful mind of yours? Maybe you have thoughts about what I'm sharing. Maybe you have thoughts about how your day is going so far. Maybe you have thoughts about what's going to happen later. Your beliefs guide the foundational ways that you move through the world. And then when we move down from the head space to the heart space into the body, where our feelings and emotions live, those feelings and emotions carry specific frequencies. So there's this back and forth between the head and the heart, the mind and the rest of the body. And so that is what now determines your point of attraction. So we're going to play with this a little bit today. Our daily expander, super simple action step, our daily SAS is going to be around awareness of thoughts. But I want to come back to something that feels really important because there's a level of nuance here. So this doesn't mean that you're not allowed to experience fear or you're not allowed to have a negative thought. In fact, sometimes those thoughts feel uncontrollable, right? You are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You have thoughts. Your thoughts don't have you. Take a minute to let that land. So you are naturally part of the human experience. You're going to have negative thoughts. You're going to be upset. You are going to have emotions that land, that fall on the lower part of the energetic scale of consciousness, which are shame, embarrassment, guilt, fear, grief, apathy. As we go up, there's anger and sadness, right? So you're allowed to feel your feelings. Please feel your feelings, think your thoughts, but know that those do not determine who you are. And when a thought comes up, like a new opportunity presents itself, and you start to slip into imposter syndrome. Well, I don't know if this is meant for me. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm qualified, right? Wow, that's so interesting. What an interesting point of view. Let yourself observe those and then invite yourself to choose some new thoughts. What would actually be more supportive than that? A more supportive thought would be, well, this opportunity wouldn't actually be available to me if it wasn't meant for me. And if it's meant for me, that means that I'm qualified. That means that I'm more than capable of doing this. And then within moving down again, thoughts and beliefs, kind of referencing the mind. And then when we move down to the body, getting back to the feelings and the emotions, if you're feeling deep sadness or grief today, let yourself move through it. Don't let yourself be in it for months or years. Coming back to Dr. Joe Dispenza, we talked about him, not even actually on day one, it was part of our pre-work. Joe Dispenza says that your personality becomes your personal reality. Your personality becomes your personal reality. A big part of your personality has to do with the emotional frequency that you embody the majority of the time. Yeah? So there's an invitation here today to notice your thoughts, to notice your feelings, and to let yourself get really curious. This is not a permission slip to judge yourself or criticize yourself or make yourself feel wrong for any of this. There's nothing wrong here. We're inviting you into a new reality. We're inviting you into a new elevated way of being. So notice, just have a practice of coming back to your inner world as many times as you can today, and notice the thoughts that you're thinking. Notice the self-talk. Notice the internal dialogue. What is happening in the space between those ears? And then also notice what's happening in your body. And the more awareness you have around that, the more intentional you can be of shifting it or getting curious. If there is a heavy emotion, let yourself be with it. See what it has to tell you. What does it want you to know? What wisdom is there for you? And then your super simple action step. This is going to really hone in on thoughts and beliefs. I want you to make a list of at least 5. At least 5. But if you want to go crazy and you want to make a list of 10 or 20, or you want to do another 50, a list of 50 things like we did yesterday, you can do that. But I want you to think of at least 5 beliefs that you want to adopt as your core beliefs, the way that you move through the world, the different thoughts. Certain thoughts are that God, universe, source always has your back, that everything is always happening for you. Things are not happening to you, they're happening for you, for your highest good. Another belief is that you are always being guided. You're being divinely guided in the exact right ways at the exact right time. Another belief would be that you are worthy. You are worthy upon arrival, that you don't have to earn your worth, that your worth is not something that can be taken away. And so even as I share these beliefs with you, I want you to notice if you can already feel a shift in your body. I felt a shift as I was saying those out loud. That is day 3. We could talk for hours and hours about this, but I wanted to introduce this concept. I don't know if you can tell how excited I get when I talk about conscious reality creation and how you are your own point of attraction. And if what you are calling into your life right now isn't what you want, get excited because you can change that. That is exactly what we've been doing and what we're going to continue to do. Notice what's happening in your headspace, your heart space today. Get curious. And your official energy expander, what I want you to journal about today is I want you to come up with at least 5 foundational thoughts or beliefs, things that you want to come back to again and again, things that when you think about them, if these were what were on replay inside of your mind, it would open up so many new doors, so many new portals of possibility, because these new thoughts and beliefs are going to shift the way that you move through the world, which then shifts everything else. I'm so excited. I love you tons, and I will see you tomorrow.